My life revolved around Maya. Every decision, every quiet moment was a shield I held up for her. She was my whole world. We lived a simple, carefully guarded life, far from prying eyes. I knew her gift was extraordinary, but also dangerous. I had to protect her from a world that would fear or exploit her. My heart ached with the constant need to keep her safe and unseen, away from anyone who might discover her secret. I remembered Sarah, a girl from my childhood. Her gift, so like Maya's, had brought her only sorrow. I saw how quickly fear turned to cruelty, how curiosity turned to exploitation. The memory was a cold knot in my stomach. It solidified my unwavering resolve. Maya would not suffer that fate. I would do anything to keep her powers hidden, to ensure she had a normal, safe life, unlike Sarah. Then there was Serena, my cousin. She had a way of being overly sweet, but I always felt an unsettling chill behind her smiles. She craved attention, always needed to be the brightest light in the room. When she looked at Maya, I sometimes saw a flicker of something else in her eyes, something I couldn't quite place, but it made me uneasy. It was a look that felt less like affection and more like calculation. Serena started asking questions about Maya. Innocent at first, about her imagination or her talents, but they grew more pointed, more frequent. Does Maya ever do anything unusual? She'd ask, her voice light but her eyes sharp. I felt a knot tighten in my stomach. My answers were always vague, always deflecting. But her curiosity felt like a drill slowly boring into our carefully constructed world, making me feel increasingly suspicious. During a rare family gathering, Maya got excited. A small flicker, a shimmer in the air near her, and my heart stopped. It was barely there, a fleeting glimpse of her power. I quickly distracted everyone, making a joke, drawing attention away. But I saw Serena's head snap up. Her eyes, usually so calculating, lingered on Maya for a moment too long. I felt a cold dread settle over me, knowing she had seen something. Whispers followed me at the next few family events. Vague comments about Maya being different, a bit strange. When I confronted Serena, she feigned shock. "You're imagining things, Alara," she said, her voice dripping with concern. "You worry too much." Her gaslighting made me question myself, my own sanity, but deep down, I knew she was planting seeds of doubt about my daughter. It made my blood run cold. Then the ultimate betrayal. I was scrolling online, and there it was, a video. Maya, her powers undeniable, captured for the world to see. It was clearly staged, accidentally uploaded, but expertly filmed. My blood ran cold, my hands trembling. My daughter, my innocent Maya, was exposed. My meticulously built shield was shattered into a million pieces. The world was about to see what I had fought so hard to hide. The internet exploded. The video went viral in hours. Maya's face, her gift, was everywhere. News channels picked it up, sensationalizing every detail. Our quiet life, our anonymity, was a distant memory. Public hysteria began to swell, a terrifying wave crashing over us. I watched in horror as our privacy evaporated, replaced by a chilling loss of safety. My heart pounded with panic, knowing our world had changed forever. Our home became a cage. Protesters gathered outside, shouting. Journalists swarmed, their cameras flashing like angry eyes. Soon, government agents arrived, their presence cold and official. My secure world collapsed. I knew we couldn't stay. We had to run to find safety. Maya clung to me, her small body trembling. We were hunted by a terrified and curious world that now knew her secret. I had to get her out no matter what. I found Serena. She tried to feign innocence, but her eyes held a strange, triumphant gleam. "It's what she deserved, Alara," she said, her voice chillingly calm. A moment in the sun, and me for finally being noticed. Her words were a physical blow. I felt broken, my world shattered. But beneath the pain, a fierce resolve ignited. I would not let her get away with this. I would have my revenge for what she did to Maya. Our life on the run was a blur of fear and constant movement. Every shadow felt like a threat, every new town a temporary hiding place. Maya was under immense stress, and her powers, once so carefully controlled, flickered uncontrollably. A sudden loud noise, a stranger's quick movement, and the air around her would shimmer, objects would subtly shift. My heart ached for her lost normalcy, knowing that each uncontrolled burst put us in greater danger. I had to find a way to make this stop. I knew the only way to protect Maya was to expose Serena. I began to work tirelessly, piecing together every lie, every planted rumor. I reviewed old text messages, listened to archived voicemails, cross-referenced timelines from social media posts. The anger burned steadily within me, a cold fuel. Every fragment of evidence I found, every confirmation of her malicious intent, solidified my resolve. I would not rest until I had undeniable proof of her calculated cruelty. Just when I felt most alone, a message arrived from an old contact, Dr. Eris Thorne. He was someone I knew from years ago, someone who understood the complexities of extraordinary abilities. He offered help, a way to fight Serena's narrative and reclaim Maya's anonymity. A wave of relief washed over me. It was a risk to trust anyone, but his understanding, his calm voice gave me a sliver of hope I desperately needed. I felt a new strength, knowing we weren't entirely alone anymore. With Dr. Thorne's help, we dug deeper. The truth was more horrifying than I imagined. Serena hadn't just exposed Meyer out of petty jealousy. She had a premeditated plan to capitalize on Maya's abilities for a reality show or a book deal. My own cousin was going to use our trauma, my child's dangerous gift, for personal gain. The realization was a physical blow, a sickening twist in my stomach. It wasn't just betrayal, it was cold, calculated exploitation. My counterstrike had to be precise. Working with Dr. Thorne, I began to strategically leak the irrefutable evidence to trusted, independent journalists. We carefully presented Serena's malicious gaslighting, her manipulative messages, and the true depths of her betrayal. I felt a knot of anxiety in my chest, knowing the risks but also a fierce determination. This was the only way to clear Maya's name, to dismantle the lies Serena had built. The news spread quickly. Serena's carefully constructed facade began to crack. Public opinion, once swayed by her sensationalized story, started to shift dramatically. The outrage grew, turning against her. I watched from afar, a bittersweet vindication in my heart. People began to see her for who she truly was, a manipulative opportunist. It wasn't joy I felt, but a profound sense of relief that the truth was finally coming to light. The dramatic confrontation came at a public forum, arranged by Dr. Thorne. I stood before the cameras, my voice steady despite the tremor in my hands. I systematically exposed Serena's treachery, presenting every piece of undeniable proof. Her face, visible on a large screen, twisted from feigned innocence to pure fury. I felt a surge of strength, knowing I was revealing the weaponization of a child's gift for selfish fame. It was for Maya, every single word. The aftermath was swift and devastating for Serena. She faced public condemnation, legal repercussions for child endangerment, and her dreams of notoriety were spectacularly shattered. Her moment in the spotlight became her irreversible infamy. I watched her fall, not with triumph, but with a heavy heart. The revenge I sought wasn't sweet, it was necessary. She was isolated, her manipulative web finally dismantled. Justice, in its starkest form, had been served. With Dr. Thorne's unwavering help, I worked tirelessly to secure Maya's future. He found a clandestine sanctuary, a protected program where Maya could understand and control her abilities safely, away from prying eyes. It was a place of learning and acceptance, a chance for her to embrace her unique identity without fear. Leaving her there was heartbreaking, but I knew it was the safest, most loving decision I could make for her. My only goal was her peace. Maya and I began the arduous journey of healing. Our bond, forged stronger than ever by our shared ordeal, became our anchor. We visited often, slowly rebuilding our trust in the world, in each other. Justice had been served, and with it, a renewed hope for a future where Maya could embrace her identity on her own terms, free from exploitation. The pain of betrayal lingered, a scar on our family, but it was overshadowed by the quiet strength of our love and the promise of a peaceful, self-determined life for my extraordinary daughter. I finally felt a deep, quiet relief.